In this revision session, we are going to be looking at methods of binding. The first one you need to know about is saddle wire stitching, the second is comb binding, the third is perfect binding, and the final one is case binding. The first method is saddle wire stitching, which is a simpler method of binding which uses a staple to connect all the pages together. This type of method is used for brochures, weekly magazines and comics. It's also used in your monthly parent link. The advantages of this method is that it's perfect for anything that needs to be folded, anything that needs to be printed and then laid flat, and also is relatively inexpensive when commercially produced. The disadvantage is there's a low visual appearance and is not very durable, as the centre pages can easily fall apart. The second method of binding is spiral or comb binding. This is where holes are punched along the edge of pieces of paper, and then a spiralling piece of steel or plastic is inserted through the holes to hold the sheets together. This is used in business reports and just general documents. It's also used in your planners. The advantages of this method is it's relatively inexpensive when produced commercially. It is ideal for binding multiples of single sheets of paper without folds, has a fairly good quality visual appearance, and printed materials can be laid flat to read. The disadvantage is it's not very durable, as documents can easily fall apart or tear down where the holes have been created. The third method is perfect binding. This is where pages are held together and fixed to the cover by means of a flexible adhesive or glue. This is used for paperback books, glossy monthly magazines and catalogues. The advantage of this method of binding is it's much better quality with a much higher visual appeal. The glued spine produces longevity, making products last longer. The disadvantage is that it's an expensive commercial process. The last method of binding you need to know about is case binding, which combines sewing and gluing the pages of a book together to create the binder. This method is used in hardback books, quality presentations such as school yearbooks. The advantage of this method of binding is that it uses a stiff board on the covers to protect the pages. It's a very high quality and professional method of binding and is extremely durable. The disadvantage is that it's a very expensive commercial process. That concludes this section of the revision. If you have any questions, please come and speak to me.